Hello students, it is my another lecture of biology for class 10th. In our previous video, we start the chapter first, that is life process, and we already discussed the topic nutrition and respiration. We start the topic in the transportation in human, and in this topic we discuss the its subtopic, the blood and the heart. We already knows what the structure of heart and its working, how it circulate the blood in all body parts. In this video we will try to study the topic blood vessels and lymph. Before study these two topics, we have to know one important topic, that what is the circulation in various animals. As we know in earlier videos that human shows the double circulation. What is the meaning of double circulation, or or what are the other different various method in animals? So take the example of fishes. Heart of fish is two chamber heart, means only one atrium and one ventricle. What is the important thing in its circulation? The important thing is that blood only enter in the heart of fish in one cycle. Enter in heart in one cycle. Okay, this type of circulation is called single circulation. Okay, means oxygenated blood, in fishes deoxygenated blood enter into the heart, and then from there it goes to the gills for oxygenation, and after oxygenation it directly goes to the various parts of the body. That is called single circulation. In case of some reptiles and amphibians, which have three chamber heart. Okay, due to this three chamber heart, there is one problem. The problem is that slow mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. This slow mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated bloods, that's why they cannot able to get the oxygen. That's why they cannot able to maintain their body temperature, not able to maintain body temperature, and they become cold blooded. Due to the slow mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, they cannot get continuous supply of oxygen that is required for the respiration process, that will release the energy for maintaining their body temperature, and that's why they are cold blooded. In case of humans, means basically mammals and birds, who have four chambered heart. Okay, means two atrium and two ventricles. There is no mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, and the important thing is that uh, continue supply of oxygen that will help to maintain body temperature, and that's why they are warm blooded. Okay. uh, okay, I'm trying to un- understand you with the help of a schematic representation of double circulation. It is a schematic representation of blood circulation in humans and in also in birds. So oxygenated bloods, that is comes from the lungs through pulmonary veins. It enter into left ventricle. You already studied its mechanism of blood circulation. So we try to understand again this process. Oxygenated blood through from the lungs with through the pulmonary veins enter into the left atrium by the contraction of left atrium. It enter into the left ventricle, and after the contraction of left ventricle, it goes into dorsal aorta. Dorsal aorta supply the oxygenated blood to all body parts. Okay. uh, then deoxygenated blood, that is uh, carried by the or collect by the superior and inferior vena cava, enter into right atrium. Then after the contraction of right atrium, it goes into right ventricle, and after the contraction of right ventricle, it goes into pulmonary artery. Here from this deoxygenated blood goes into lungs for oxygenation. As you see in this whole process, you see that blood is enter in heart at in two cycle. First is the deoxygenated blood goes into the heart, and after that the oxygenated blood again enter into the heart. Means blood moves in heart in two cycle. That is called double circulation. That is called double circulation. Okay. What is the benefit of double circulation? Double circulation supply the continuous supply of oxygen that help to maintain the body temperature, and that's why these animals are called warm blooded. Okay. So I hope you easily understand this topic. Then we start with the new topic. The next new topic of this chapter is blood pressure. What is the blood pressure? Blood pressure is basically the pressure of blood on vessels. Sorry, pressure on vessels. Pressure of blood on vessels. It is different in arteries and veins. Different in arteries and veins. How it different? and what is the steps of blood, what is the process of blood pressure and how we calculate it. We calculate or measure the blood pressure by an instrument that is called sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer sphygmomanometer is an instrument that is used for measuring the blood pressure in arteries and veins, or commonly the blood pressure, or measuring the blood pressure. Blood pressure is higher in arteries and lower in veins. Okay. So, it is basically this the topic. So what are the two different pressure in arteries and veins? First is pressure of blood in arteries by the contraction of ventricle, that is called systolic pressure. It is about 120 mmHg. The pressure of blood in arteries by the contraction of ventricle is called systolic pressure, and it is about 120 mmHg. Again, the pressure of blood in veins by the by the relaxation of ventricle is called diastolic pressure. It is about 80 mmHg. Okay, it means the blood pressure is a combination of two different pressure: the pressure by the contraction of ventricle and by the relaxation of ventricle, contraction and relaxation of ventricle. So as we measure the, if I try to write, the normal blood pressure of human is about 120 to 80 mmHg, means it is systolic pressure and it is diastolic pressure. Okay, then we start the new topic. Our next topic is blood vessels. Blood vessels are those vessels which are circulate the blood in whole part of the body. There are basically three types: artery, number two veins, and number three capillaries. So start with artery. Okay, arteries are thick walled structure, means they are thick in comparatively veins, and they carry oxygenated blood, and when they carry oxygenated blood, they supply blood from heart to body part. Okay, and finally the last feature is walls are absent in arteries. Then in case of veins, what are the features of veins? These are thin walled comparatively. then they carry deoxygenated blood, and they release the deoxygenated blood into heart. Release deoxygenated blood into heart. In veins, valves are present, and you know that what is the function of valves. Valves prevent the back flow of blood. Then finally, number 3, capillaries. Capillaries are very thin structure. Okay, means single cell layered structure, and basically they are connection of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Basically they make a connection between oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, and they also supply blood in the anterior end of body, or in all part of body, or in all tissue. Okay, then finally the last topic of this chapter is lymph. Lymph is basically a liquid substance that is circulate in the body, similar to blood circulation, but it is separate from blood circulation. It is tissue fluid which is present around the present as a extra cellular fluid. It's circulate in the body in separate vessels which are called lymphatic. Circulate in lymphatic vessels. Okay, the basic component of lymph, the main component of the lymph is plasma, and this plasma carry light yellow color, and it's carry the WBCs and other proteins which are found in the blood plasma. Okay, the main function of the lymph is to remove dead cells from the body. Okay, then also drain extra fluid from the cell. These are, and because they carry WBCs, they also provide protection by killing the pathogens. So with this topic, the transportation of blood is complete, and in the next video we will discuss the next topic. Okay, thank you.